In Nigeria today, women are in politics, but they are scarcely in political leadership. The National Assembly Library Trust Fund says women only hold 64 out of 1,460 legislative seats in Nigeria's national and state assemblies. Now, a bill called Reserve Seats for Women is set before the National Assembly to bridge this gap. In this story, Just Nigeria's Mercy Frank talks to the leadership of the National Assembly, past and present female lawmakers, and some experts to understand the bill and how it may benefit all Nigerians. Take a look.
This democracy still leaves its women on the sidelines.
It was a very rough outing for me, I must tell you. It wasn't something I got on a platter of gold. I fought for it.
Some people would say, she's too young. Some people would say, why a female?
With half of Nigeria's potential on the outside looking in, push has come to shove.
Nigeria cannot thrive with 50% of its population, which are women, left behind.
With more involvement of women, nations prosper better.
A 2025 United Nations report indicates that globally, women hold 27.2% of parliamentary seats, a progress from 11% in 1995. In sub-Saharan Africa, the share is 27.3%, with Rwanda leading at 64% and several others at or above 50%. There is a sharp contrast when it comes to Nigeria. Just 20 women out of 469 members in the National Assembly after the 2023 general elections, lower than the country's peak in 2007 when 36 women won seats. Among them was Senator Grace Bent, originally from southwestern Osun State, who defied the odds to claim her place in history in her husband's northwestern Adamawa State.
I had about 8 men to contend with during my primaries. And mind you, a lot of them were seeing me as a wife. Unfortunately for us in Nigeria, our politics has been so much endangered by and hijacked by money bags, as it were. So it's almost very, very difficult, if not impossible, for more women to come out because they lack the economic muscle to stand, and contest side by side with their male counterparts.
Nearly 2 decades later, a new generation steps forward. Among them is 29-year-old state legislator Rukayat Shitu from North Central Kwara, who, like Grace, is swimming against the tide.
Politics, the space is a bit hostile to women and then young people. Well, we went through so many ups and downs, which it was true that people get to know and hear about my story, how the journey from getting the party ticket to after getting the party ticket to courts, 5 courts, from Ilorin here to Abuja. So part of that, this moment, I would say a part of the toughest time for me during the journey, among others.
Grace and Rukayat's stories shed light on the deeper challenges Nigerian women face once they get through the door. These are hurdles the new Reserved Seats for Women bill aims to confront. Officially known as the Constitution Alteration Bill, it aims to provide special seats for women in the national and state houses of assembly.
It seeks to add 74 additional seats to the National Assembly. That is 37 seats in the Senate, 37 seats in the House of Representatives, respectively, as well as 3 additional seats per state across the 36 states of assemblies. This would ensure equitable contribution of women to our decision making, especially in Parliament.
From the 2016 Gender Equality Bill that failed at second reading to the March 2022 special seats for women and a 35% affirmative action proposal, plus 5 separate gender-related bills that suffered rejection, sparking protests before lawmakers, to the celebrated Not Too Young to Run Act of 2018, the reserved seat for women bill sings a well-defined tune.
So the feedback that we received from parliamentarians was that we need to streamline and make coherent what our demands are. So this time around, the Right Honourable Deputy Speaker in his wisdom has chosen to have just one ask, which is additional seats reserved for women to contest.
This bill is not attacking men. This bill is not attacking the position currently occupied by men. In fact, this bill is trying to reduce the number of women who are struggling for what the men are struggling, to have a percentage go to, fight for the reserved seat. So for men who are afraid and say, why are the women coming to, they are not coming to take your seat. That seat has not been occupied before. They are coming for a fresh seat. Over the time, our culture has been a barrier. Our religion has been a barrier.
And there is also the psychological barrier that is existential, in that, women are under men. So we cannot have them compete with us in politics and come and be at par with us in decision making.
A lot of cultures believe that women should be seen and not heard. So that has silenced our women, it has silenced our young girls, because they see the boys put forward, they're the ones going to school.
Where it is dangerous to women is that they are not given opportunities, and there could be frustrations when you know that you can do better than this person that is there, that the only criteria that this person has to put in there is that he's a man, and that you can do better. That can be very discouraging, that can be frustrating. In fact, that can break somebody down, and it can make people to go into apathy.
Beyond the numbers are perceptions that cut deeper than any election loss. Across all cadres, certain ideas about women in leadership can choke progress even before it sprouts. One of them is that women are too emotional to lead effectively.
Everybody is emotional, men or women. The expression of the emotion is what differs. And it's been proven all around the world that women are good leaders. Women have come out strong as leaders, especially when there are crises.
Also, a common misconception is that women can only get into politics through quotas rather than merit.
No, it's not true. The low number that we have on the participation of women in politics is not because of scarcity of merit. Is the mechanism, the framework around that has not been tolerant of the interests of women.
Some argue that women in leadership rarely provide support to other women.
Have women across the country, like they have to go there, they have to go all out just to know that at the end of the day, this ticket is mine and I won the election.
Another dangerous misconception is that women in politics are bad homemakers.
No, it's Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala neglecting her family. It's all about the person.
Yet, another perception assumes that many Nigerian women are not interested in politics.
The bulk of people that are voting during election, any polling unit that you get to, those at the front line are mostly occupied by women. And during campaign, who are those that lead campaign? It is still women.
For the women who make it past the barriers, the work they choose to champion inside the parliament paint an interesting picture of the priorities.
Track the project nominated by women. Compare it to project, the kind and nature of project nominated by men. You will see that women projects tend more to socio-economic impact. The male project also has that element, but more of infrastructure and other kinds of projects that deal with and try to support their political ambition.
But beyond the corridors of power, how do everyday Nigerians feel about seeing more women in leadership?
If you train a woman, you are training a nation.
As it stands now, the women are relegated to the kitchen and the other room.
We need more women because women can still have a mercy on person from people like that than the men.
They know how to manage things. If we have crisis anywhere, a woman knows the right solution to something.
If possible, president, let a woman lead. It seems like we're in a society where men don't even give you that chance to try your best.
They are going to change the perspective that women have to issues.
After years of doors half open and promises half kept, will the reserved seats for women bill cut through the noise?
Unlike in the 8th and the 9th Assembly, the leadership of this bicameral legislature, the Senate and the House of Representatives, are fully in support of this. You go from first reading, which is just a title reading, a title introduction of the bill. Then you go to second reading, where members debate the bill. Then you go to committee stage, which is currently where we are. Then they present it to the floor for third reading, and we're hoping that that would happen in early October.
There's a projection by World Bank and McKinsey. If Nigeria looks towards this direction that the bill is looking at, there will be a positive influence in our economy beyond politics. So which means advancement of democracy leads to advancement of economic life of the country. And they projected that about $299 billion will be added to the gross domestic product, the GDP of the country, just by including more women.
You are going to be able to get diverse views. There are unique policy areas where women, because of nature and design, understand and are more compassionate about. You don't expect me to pay more attention to it when I know that by my own natural design and inclination, I'm interested in certain policy area.
The reserved seat for women bill has cleared early hurdles. Whether it becomes law or joins proposals in the legislative graveyard will depend on the choices made in the coming weeks. And what all stakeholders agree on is that the outcome could help shape the course of Nigeria's governance for years to come. Mercy Frank, Gist Nigeria.